Hello, before this video begin, I just wanted you to say that this is like a one take. I am not gonna edit anything. I just want to be as truthful and I don't want to hide anything. So enjoy the video. Hello guys, boys and girls, welcome to a new video, a bit of a sad video. This one is taking me a lot of time to like think through and just outline the video. I've been kind of dealing with this the past 2 or 3 days, just kind of gotten back and forward to it. What do I want to say, what don't I want to say, because this is like the end of a chapter for me. So if you guys didn't know, I've decided to retire from the SPL. I won't be playing in Season 7 in Smite. I might play Minor League, might play Challenger. There's something I'm very undecided on yet. Probably not. Most likely I'm just kind of done. But I just want to thank everyone first and foremost for all the positive response I've gotten. I haven't been able to like find one negative comment about me leaving. It's all just been love, and that just shows that like I really do love this community, and I'll try and stay involved as much as I can. It's getting a bit emotional now. It's been crazy, man. I've been playing Smite for 7 years competitively for the past 5 years, and even though I'm only 19, I've literally played since I was 12 years old, which is crazy. So yeah, I love you guys. But that's not the main reason why I'm making this video. I want to shed some light on what has been going on behind the scenes, because there's been some not good stuff going on. At least that's how I'd like to say it, and I feel like it's fair that the community knows. I'm not trying to make this video for my own personal gain. I'm done. I'm done. No matter what happens, no matter what the response is, I'm out. Like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. But yeah, there's been some stuff going on behind the scenes that I just wanted to let people know about. But I'm gonna just kind of outline the video, spend some time on like actually writing a bit of a script for this one, just to make sure I get around everything. I'm gonna start off though on a positive note, because there's a lot of improvements that has been made to the SPL from the league's side. So I'm gonna start off with talking about some of that. Then I'll be talking about one of the reasons why I'm not playing, which is the whole pull from home, like me actually really missing my family and just living so far away. As you guys can see, I'm back in Denmark. I'm back with my guitar. Everyone remembers Guitar Nils on stream. Those were the good days. Then I'll talk a bit about the whole organization situation, which is what really burnt me out on Smite. And yeah, in the end, I just kind of want to say thank you to a few people and just ponder back, take a trip down memory lane. So I might do some timestamps or whatever if you get super bored, because I don't know how long this video is going to take. The outline, it shouldn't be too long, but I'll try and get around every point. But yeah, thank you again so much for all the positive response. I know people might feel different about what I'm about to say and stuff. You can judge me if you want to, you cannot. I'm going to try and look from it from my perspective, but I'm gonna try and be as nice about it as I can. First off though, let's start on a positive note with some of the things that has really improved in SPL next year, and why you should definitely keep watching SPL and be interested. One of the big things is that Skillshot and Hi-Res is now like, Skillshot doesn't have the responsibility for running the Pro League production side anymore, and that was a really big issue last year, that Skillshot put their own growth in front of pushing Smite and Paladins and all the leagues. They really limited the resources that Smite had to create content, which I think is such a big thing. So that's awesome. We're finally gonna have Hi-Res just focusing on pushing Smite rather than focusing on pushing the whole Skillshot brand. The SML, the Challenger, the whole amateur, the semi-pro scene has improved so much next year. That's something I've been a really big proponent for. I've been pushing for this for so long. You guys have seen my tweets, you've seen everything. I've really wanted there to be a really good amateur or semi-pro scene. A game cannot thrive competitively if there is an amateur or a semi-pro scene that really feeds into the big leagues. And I think that's for the first time ever in Smite history, we're gonna have an amateur and a semi-pro scene that actually makes a lot of sense and that has the potential to feed into the SPL, which is awesome. And the last thing I wanted to go over that has improved a lot is SPL. The format next year is going to be way better. It's going to be best out of threes. It's going to be played Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, so you can actually watch it. It's going to be played at reasonable times. that's kind of it. One bad thing, I guess, is there's still just a lack of big events, which kind of sucks. Like, there's only the World Championships where you can go and see the fans, which is a really big thing about being a pro player, is just being able to interact with the communities you create. And it sucks that you can only do that 3 days a year, because that just makes the 362 other days a year a bit harder. So I really wish that Hi-Rez at least is going to try and do something to get Smite out. Like, DreamHack Valencia was one of the best things to happen to Smite in a long time. But that's it. I'm going to go into my first reasoning now for not playing. That's just the pull from home, man. As you guys might have noticed around the World Championships, family is such a big part of my life. I'm so lucky that I've literally gotten the best up racing I could have ever asked for. I've had no issues. If I wanted something, I could get it. Not saying that I was spoiled, like we had limited resources for sure, but I've never been short on love. I've never like missed anything. I've had such a safe and good up racing. My whole family's just been super supportive of me playing Smite as well. So I'm really happy that I actually got them to show them my world at the World Championship. But I've missed them a lot, man. These last 2 years, I've been 17, 18, 19. I've lived a day's travel away from home, a lot of money away from home if something urgent happened. I've missed out on a bunch of events that I really wish I didn't miss out on. And that kind of hurt in a place, I guess. It's something that's been like at the back of the mind. Like, it's not too fun to miss funerals and shit because you're sitting somewhere on the opposite side of the world and you're in the middle of a tournament or something. It kind of sucks. It would have been a lot easier if it would have been a lot closer, because then if you say there was a league in Germany or anything, or I played from Spain or something, you can just fly home. That's how it is, you know. But even Spain was kind of far away. But what I'm trying to say is that it's been hard not playing. When you live across the globe, like it's just such a big travel. I'm not a big proponent. Like, I kind of dislike flying as well, so I always get really nervous before flights, and it's something that has just made me kind of resilient. I'm not resilient, that's not the right word. It's kind of made me push away a bit from actually going home when I probably should have. And I've been doing this. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the other pro players, not to neglect that everyone's probably feeling or going through the same issues that I have, but I've done this from a very young age and a very long distance. I've missed out on a lot of things where at least the others have been a bit older and maybe a bit more prepared to move away from home. Like, I don't regret it at all, don't get me wrong, but like, I've learned my lessons and I'm really happy that I've made the choices, and I wouldn't ever do it back if I could. But I think it's finally time for me now to spend some time close and around my family. One big thing for me is with the whole org thing that has been going on is that it's really burnt me out. It's really like, I haven't even played Smite since I got home. I haven't had that pull. Like, I really wanted to play, you know, after the World Championships. I had this new team, I was excited, but the whole free agency period has just not made me want to play. And if I promised myself a few years back that the day Smite is going to feel like work and not a passion, that's the day I'm going to end my career. And that day was like 5 or 6 days ago. I just have better options if I'm going to look at it from like a career perspective. And those options are a lot closer to my home. And that's something I just value a lot. So that's the one big reasoning, probably the main part of the reason why I'm not playing. And now I guess I'm going to go into the whole org thing. So basically, the orgs have been using some dirty business methods, at least from I'm biased, I'm a player, but from my view, they have been doing something that just probably isn't too like morally right. I'm going to start off with telling you guys about 2 terms. This is very strong terms. I myself don't believe that these can be exactly put into what has happened, but I just want to get this out there. Collusion is the simple act of conspiring to increase your economic benefit as well as the benefit of those whom you collude with. And a conspiracy or conspiring is making secret plans jointly to commit an unlawful act or harmful act. Unlawful, but there's no laws. That's the issue here. There's no almost fell. There's no like framework for what's allowed and what's not allowed. So I'm going to explain to you guys what has been going on behind the scenes. Again, I'm not going back even if stuff changes, which I hope the players are going to get better terms. That's something I fought for a lot last year as well. We had a really big arm wrestling with Hi-Res to give the players bigger benefits, which ended up working out really well. And this is not me having something against the league or the people that work at Hi-Res. This is me thinking there should be a framework so the organizations can't be scummy, which is what I felt like they have been. So we created our team. A lot of teams got created. Obviously, the league has dropped down from 10 to 8 teams. That means that there is a lot more competitive. Like it's more competitive to get into the league because there's actually a lot of players. There's 10 players that are not going to be in there, and that was a good thing, I think. But what happened is that every single organization, the people that like made the negotiations or whatever, they grouped up in a group chat. I don't know whether that's on text, on call, or whatever, but they agreed that with the current Smite ecosystem, the salaries of the Smite Pro players should be dropped by 15 to 20%, which is pretty substantial. Like, if you went into work and they're like, yo, we kind of want you, but your salary is going to have to go down by 15 to 20%. And we've talked to every other, say you deliver newspapers. We've talked to every other newspaper delivery firm in town, and we're just going to have to drop your salary by 15 to 20% so we can make a bigger profit or less of a loss or whatever you want to say. And this is kind of fucked up because the organizations actually get more money from Hi-Res. And I think also it's just Hi-Res' own money. This is not the mixer. There is no mixer deal. This is Hi-Res investing their own money into the league. And they're giving each and every organization more money. The orgs are using, well, Hi-Res isn't investing as much money as they were last year because the teams have declined, but what they're not taking into account is that the minor league is 200k now. There's a challenger circuit. They have to pay for flights 4 times a year for 4 teams. That's a lot of money. And they also, the orgs themselves actually get more money, which is ridiculous. And they want to lower the salaries by 15 to 20%. Being a Smite player it's not something like the salary I have gotten from where I live. It's not even the medium salary. Like, but I do play Smite because I love it, and I'm not quitting because I'm unhappy with the salary I would get. I just feel like I'm not appreciated, and it's more so like the respect that comes with the money. That just really burned me out, that every org just kind of went in together and said, all right, guys, we're dropping, we've talked to the other organizations. So this is what, every time you'd go and talk to an organization, you'd have a meeting, every single person would start off with saying something along the lines of like, yeah, I mean, we've been talking a bit to the other orgs, and we agreed that you guys were kind of overpaid last year. Therefore, we think you guys should probably expect somewhere between a 15 to 20% reduction in your salaries. And then you sit there like, okay, I guess. So yeah, that's that. That just makes me feel kind of unwanted, especially because I think, from my perspective, even though the league is dropping in teams, the league should be more competitive, and it should be more attractive to viewers and to fans, and to invest into the league next year, because it's less teams, you play on more days, you play more games, there's more exposure of all the brands. I know for a fact with PK that some of our big sponsors, like actually getting those deals through, was because you had the Smite team to push those deals. Now PK is a bit of a smaller org compared to other orgs, but you can, I think they're also just kind of neglecting what you bring in brand exposure and that stuff. But yeah, let's not get too much into that anyway. So what us players tried to do, because everyone heard that, well, the orgs have talked together, we made a group chat, and we're like, has the org said this to you guys as well? And they're like, yeah. And a few of us were like, what we should do now is we should just say we won't accept this decrease in salary. Being somewhere around the same level, with you guys getting more money, seems reasonable to us. We think Smite is probably going to be in a good state with the format changes and everything. But the orgs just, nah. So us players, basically, we tried to unionize, I guess you can say, again, like we kind of did to an extent last year. But the issue is that this year the competition was a lot harder for the spots. And that meant that some of the people that were on edge about whether they would get a sponsor or not kind of jumped the gun and signed with the organizations. I know not everyone was included in this group chat, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best of things, but we were, I think, people representing at least 7 teams, and we were like, all right, guys, or like 8 teams or something, let's just take a deep breath. Let's just wait this out. Let's wait for the orcs to kind of come to their sense. Let's just not take these really bad deals we're getting given. But what happened is that people started getting really worried. A team signed, then another team signed, and then another team signed, and another team signed, and people were just trying to undercut each other just to make sure that they got a spot in the SPL. And that's something I don't know, man. I like, people panic, and I think it's totally fair. I think if you're worried that you're not gonna get a spot, you're not gonna get to do what you love, you're gonna take no money to do it. Like, if I felt good about playing Smite, and say the Smite Pro League was in Germany or something, so I was a lot closer to home, and I had an org where I felt like this org really cared for me, fuck it, dude, I'll do it for free. Like, I just love to compete, you know, but I just don't feel like that the orcs kind of wanted us, you know. I never got that feeling of being wanted or being appreciated as a player. And we had offers. Like, it was kind of troll. After I told my team that I wasn't gonna play, like 1 hour after, the organization we'd been talking to was like, yo, we're gonna sign you guys. I'm like, okay. But I don't know, I still didn't want to. It just wasn't for me. I still think there's good orcs in the league, and I think every orc is like good at heart, but I just think the way they've been acting has been not good. It's kind of shady to me. I understand it's supply and demand, but I also think that dropping everything so much, like at 15 to 20%, so that's the average. Some players have taken reductions like 30-40%, which is crazy. Like, that's just not stable, you know. So I wrote something down. I believe it's in Hi-Res and the league's best interest that the best and the most recognizable names play in the league, just because that helps push the league. That's going to create more viewers. More viewers is going to make it easier to make the orgs invest, and it's just all a good snowball effect. If you're going to end up in a spot where it's just teams that wants to sign for the minimum salary, and a lot of the recognizable players which think or believe that they're worth a bit more, which I think is totally fair, that they don't get signed because the orcs just kind of want to cash out, because that's what it feels like to me. So to me, it just feels like orcs are just trying to cut costs. They're not trying to invest in the league. They're not trying to invest in Smite, and that just, they're saying the ecosystem is going downhill, and I'm just saying, like, is that something I want to be a part of? It wasn't, but yeah, it's easy to point fingers at the players, like us players, and just use the argument, well, it's a business, it's how supply and demand works. But for me, in the end, you're going to end up in a situation where the players are going to feel unappreciated and not taken care of, and this leads to frustration and burnout. And if all the very recognizable players is going to feel that, it's just going to kill the league in the long term, which I'm sure is something none of us wants. Because I think the whole league format and everything Cooper and the admins has done to like restructure the league for next year is like really, really, really good. So what I'm suggesting is that there should be some kind of framework to what the orgs can and cannot do. Because it's in everyone's best interest that everyone invests into this, whether that's you're a player and you do content, whether that's you're an organization and you just invest money into content and actually give players what we believe we're worth. I'm very biased, of course, but I still think it's not fair to go in and say they're getting more money. They're literally getting more money. They're pocketing more money, 5-digit numbers, and they're saying we're gonna cut costs by 15 to 20%. Why? At that point, it feels like, come on, man. Like, some of the orgs are almost just making money off the stipends they're getting. And that's like discounting whether there's gonna be like skin sales, there's gonna be like sales of wards placements, and there's gonna be all the fucking brand exposure we give through our streams, through the people of like that of us that do content. But yeah, I'm let's not go too much in circles. Let me just move on here. I mentioned already. I'm very, one of the really big things that made me really consider playing is that I felt really bad that I had built a team where I was like, I really, really want to play with you guys, and I really wanted to. Those were some of my really good friends, and I felt like we had a really good shot at winning. So I was really worried that they weren't going to get an organization. I'm very happy that they ended up getting one, because that was my biggest issue, was if am I fucking everyone else over by saying I don't want to play all of a sudden. But I've talked to my old team and my friends and my family and other Smite pros, and everyone has just been so nice and saying, do what's best for you for once, which I did. And I feel like a bit of an asshole for doing it, but at least it didn't end up being super bad. So yeah, just like, you can discuss whether it's collusion or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would call it collusion. I just think it's like literally dirty business practice. They're taking advantage of the circumstances. They're taking advantage of the fact that there's no framework, there's no rules, and they're just using it for their own gain to cut costs and make even more money. I'm like, it should be in everyone's interest that you guys invest in the league, you know? I think what should be done is the league should probably just set a boundary on like what you can do and what you can't do. And while this isn't necessarily unlawful, I think maybe it should be. Because in other businesses, when the employers go together and they say, hey man, we're gonna lower you guys' salaries because there's more, like, the supply is lower than the demand, so we can lower the cost and we can gain from it. Then what usually has happened, and what has happened in history, is then people will unionize, and the union will say, well, you're just not gonna get any workers. But for Smite, it's just so hard because it's a very tiny scene. It's a very, like, and people really 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 want to play because this is something they love to do. This is something they want to do so badly that they're just gonna take really really bad deals. And you have people that, I can totally understand that it's hard for someone to understand why is it a bad deal to play the game you love in USA for 30k a year. Sure, that's a totally valid argument, but for me personally, it's just, you know, it's I'm not asking for 100k, I'm not asking for 50k. Fuck it, I'll take 30k if I feel appreciated, but I don't. I play Smite because I love to do it. I don't play Smite because of my career or because of money. I have made fuck all. I could have made a lot more if I stayed home. I just hope that you guys understand that, like, this is not, I'm not trying to do this whole video for my own personal gain. I'm doing this because I really really like my colleagues and my prior teammates, and I really want to make sure that they have the best terms in the league possible. But yeah, this went on a bit longer than I expected and probably went a bit out of boundary as well. I might have said some things I'll look back on and regret, but I'm just trying to be as honest with you guys as possible, and I might have been a bit more subjective than objective in the past 5-10 minutes, but I think it's fair that you guys know what's happened. I don't think the league is to blame for this. This is my main... Don't go fucking yelling at Cooper. Suggest stuff, right? Like, it's the orgs that have done the wrong thing here, in my opinion. I can understand that some people think that the players have done the wrong thing because we didn't unionize, we didn't have an answer. Sure, you can argue that, but I think I just think that the orgs kind of took advantage of a bad situation, and the whole way they treated this just made me feel super burned out because I didn't really feel wanted. And as much as I'd love to play with 4 or 5 of my good friends on the other side, it's just, it burned me out, man. I haven't had, like, I just don't have the passion anymore, and it fucking sucks to say that, but it really burned me out. But yeah, my main thing is that I've had so many really really good experiences the past 5 years of my professional career, and I really 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 hope that that is something that people can keep getting. And for me, it's over now, but I just want to maintain that Smite is gonna go on. I know we're not the biggest of esports, but I think Smite definitely has a place to live on. So I just want to make sure that other people can have the same experiences like I did, that taught me so much about life, and I made so many good friends. So yeah, it's just, I'm going totally off script now, but I mean, this is something I want to say anyway. But yeah, I really feel it at the bottom of my heart, like, fucking hell, I don't want to see this league go down without me in it as well. Like, I won't be playing, I'm done, but I really want other people to have the same opportunities as I've had, and I've been so grateful for. And if this is gonna continue, I don't see that going on for a long time. That's just how I feel. I feel like something needs to be done. So the players can get better terms, in my opinion, they should have better terms. I can understand if some things they don't. And that there's just a positive feedback loop. Because if the players... I feel left with a very sour taste in my mouth. I know a lot of people that already signed their contracts feel the exact same thing. Sorry, my screen cut off for a second. If players feel like they're left with a sour taste in their mouth, that's going to make them less likely to do content. Content is important for the league, blah, blah, blah. It's going to make them more likely to snatch on Twitter or whatever. That's going to hurt the league. It's just a negative feedback loop. Like, we need to get into a positive feedback loop. And that can sound so smart or whatever it is, but that's where I feel like we need to be. I probably said a bunch of shit that I shouldn't have. I don't really care. This is how I feel. This is how I look at it. I hope you guys understand that I'm trying to push this for the players that are in the league right now, because I think some of them have shined worse deals than they deserve. And while something might not change this year, I really hope it's going to change in the future, so we can keep having a scene where people can have the same fucking great experiences I've had the past 5 years, because this has been something I would never do over again. Even the stupid shit I've done in my career, I've learned so many lessons from that, and that's something I can take on in my life. But I'm done. I won't be playing, even if they're gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna do whatever, blah blah blah. We'll make a new free agency period or whatever. It's not for me, man. Like I'm over it, you know. But that was a bit on the orcs and how I feel like they're not really been super beneficial to Smite. And the league in general with how they've handled the free agency period. Think of it what you want. That's the honest truth. My opinion is that something should change, whether it's this year, next year. That's what it is. If you feel like the players just needed to unionize and not jump the gun, or that's just business, that's just how it is, you feel that. I feel something else. We can still... I'm not gonna hate you for it, you know. But that's just my opinion. And everything about the orcs, it has happened. Like, they went into every single talk that we're going to expect a decrease, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of bad shit outside of this that are like rumors from other players that I won't include in this video, because I don't want to say something that's not true. So, yeah, the outro is like, I'm just burned out. Like, I just don't feel like it's worth it for me anymore to do what... I don't wake up in the morning, you have that urge to play Smite, and I think a part of it is, it's definitely been bubbling under the surface for a while, but I think the orcs, the way they handle free agency and like made me feel, you can call me a crybaby or whether you want or not, I don't think I am, but that just kind of was a nail in the coffin for me. It's not a passion anymore. I still love to play, but if it's work and it's career, I just have better opportunities now that are a lot closer to my home. So what's next? I've been talking about those opportunities. I'm gonna chill for a bit for like the next month or so. I have a few tests I'm going to, or like, what do you call, like recruitments or whatever. I might announce that a bit later. I don't want to announce something and then it doesn't happen. If not, I'm going back to school. I might stream, I might do YouTube. But yeah. Right now I'm not really feeling like doing Smite. But I'm sure I will get the urge back to play. And who knows, maybe if my stuff I've planned doesn't work out, I'll end up in the SML, which I think is fucking awesome next year. Definitely, you guys, like, if you have any inspiration of being pro, sign up for the Challenger Circuit League. It's so awesome. It's like what we need. Also, just to prove to the orgs that there's a fucking interest for competitive Smite, you know? But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna try my best to stay in touch with the community. It's just what I want. I also wanted to thank a few people in this video. I know this has been about a lot of negative stuff. But I wanted to thank a few people that has really made my career special. There's some people I might have forgotten or whatever, but these really stands out to me. First of all, it's like Ataraxia, Nate. You've been such like an inspiration and like a big brother figure, the big brother I've never had, I guess you can say. You've taught me a lot, and you've always been there for me, even when I've done some shit that could potentially be hurtful to you. You've been the bigger man. You've always been the one that's been there for me when times has been tough, and I really appreciate you. And it sucks that you quit as well, but I'm sure I'll see you. You're fucking great, dude. Everyone loves Nate. There you go. Another one of my older Bay teammates is Captain Twig. Twig, man, I really admired everything you've done. Your whole attitude and approach to the game, and how you think about a lot of things is just, and your whole humor, like your whole self-irony, you don't take yourself seriously. That's just taught me so much about life, about Smite, and I've always really looked up to you. I just hope you know that. From the very first time I started playing back in season 1, even when you were in SK, I remember the SPL kickoff LAN back in 2013, where you were there. You guys beat us sadly in the final. That was fucking crazy. But you've always been like, kind of like Nate, just like a big brother figure to me. I wanted to say that. EmilZy and Jamben, man, you guys are fucking great. Living with you guys in Spain was definitely like the biggest development I've ever had in my life. I went from being this cocky little I'm the best player in the world to living with you guys, just learning so much about life, learning how to do my laundry, learning how to be a fucking good person, learning how to party, learning how to do a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have, but I might do again, because, you know, never go wrong with them on Jam, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys a lot more in the future as well. King Kenneth, you're next. Kenneth, I've always like looked up to you. I always think you've been like the best player, in my opinion. The way you approach the game is like truly fucking inspirational. This just feels so wrong that I'm sitting here like kind of giving fucking compliments to these guys, boosting their ego or whatever, you know, but you've truly meant a lot to me. Teaming with you for these past 2 years has been fucking awesome. Having someone so like-minded on the team, just being on the same page and being able to be fucking mad at each other as well and just talk it out. That's like a quality that I really, really enjoyed with you. And I really, really like teaming with you, and I wish you all the best in the future of your career. And I'm sure, I'll see you in January with Emil and Yamin. Bro, gotta kind of get into the coaches now. Bro, man, I really wanted to make it happen this year. I hope you know that as well. I think people have a lot of stigmas about coaches and how much impact they actually have. I can say that Ro has been so fucking good to work with. I've been really lucky with the coaches I've had. Ro has helped a lot. I think he definitely proved he can play the game at a high level himself as well. And most importantly, he's just always been here for me the past 2 years. And I think you really shaped me into the person I am. Especially back on Energy. This year you've been more just of a support. Being again like-minded has been great. The last real like player teammate I've had, I want to mention, is Hazer. Hazer, man, like I've said this before. I don't know how you still have me as a friend for some of the fucking stupid shit I've done. But I think you can see, as I can see myself, that I've learned from that stuff and I've moved on and I've improved. And just being able to like always have you there, kind of the same as Nate, has just been super great. I'm really happy that you came back to coach Renegades. I think you'll fucking succeed at whatever you do, and I hope whenever I'm gonna do my little Brexit trip that I can take a trip up to Scotland, visit you and vote, something like that. But I just really want to know that I appreciate everything that you have done for me these past years, the past 3 years. It's been fucking awesome. From Hi-Res, Kuba, Agro, Hindu, Ovrin are kind of like the people that stand out to me. I think you guys we've had our differences, Coop, Agro, Hindu, Elrin, and Coop, but you guys have always been there for me. You guys have always been there. I think we've been very like-minded on what's good and what's bad for the league. And I just wanted to thank you for that. Just thank it. It feels really good. We need more people like you that includes players and makes you feel included. I think you guys have been really, 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 really good at that. And I just want to thank you. It definitely would have been the same. Like every time I play SPL, I'd always pop up to Oren's desk and be like, "Hey man, what's up? How's the mixer chat doing today?" It's like, "Oh yeah, the mixer chat is talking shit. I'm batting people, whatever." Agro, Hindu, man, you guys have always been like so great to all those players, and I hope you continue doing that. I'm gonna have to fucking hurry up now, otherwise this is gonna be a 1 hour thank you speech. Lastly, I just wanted to like thank you to Obey, Energy, and PK. You guys have been 3 awesome organizations. I know I've shit a lot of organizations in general terminology in this video, but you really are the proof that orgs that really wants the game to succeed and wants the best for their players is out there. And I think if every organization was like Obey, Energy, or PK, Smite would be fucking flourishing esport, you know? So I really hope that orgs kind of look at what you guys have done and try and replicate that, because I think that's just, yeah, you've been so great. Thank you. And yeah, I just wanted to thank all of my teammates and all my colleagues, my enemies, my fellow players that I've had from season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not, well, obviously not 7. And my season 7 teammates that I would have played with. I'm really happy you guys ended up getting a spot. I'm sure you guys are gonna do fucking awesome. Hint, hint, hint. Who's replacing me? But it's gonna be a fucking pleasure following you guys. I'm sorry if I forgot someone, but those are like the main ones that really stand out to me. I fucking love all of you guys. It's been so good being a part of the Smite community, and I hope I can continue to be this even after this video comes out. I'm sure a lot of people might think differently of me or whatever, but I just feel like it needs to be out there. Lastly, I just want to thank you sitting there at home watching this video, all the fans, you guys. I cannot express how fucking grateful I am for I've like been getting this opportunity of doing what I love, which is Smite, or what I loved, and doing it around people that I really, really enjoy being around. Sadly for me, it's just not a dream anymore. You guys are all fucking great people, all the fans, the community, even though you say some dumb shit sometimes, and I might get a bit angry looking through a Reddit thread saying, why did the EmilZy miss that gambling goal? They would have won the game. You guys really are a good fucking community, and I love you. And my biggest advice to you guys sitting at home, you think, what can I do to make sure that the league keeps growing? Support the organizations and the players that really push to create content. That's just the feedback loop we need to get into. I'm not saying you're a bad player, you're a bad org if you don't do it, but I think it should be a necessity to do those things, because that's just going to push the league, it's going to push your own salary, it's going to push the org's exposure. So as a fans, excuse me, what you should do is you should just like, comment, and subscribe. As stupid as it sounds, do that to people that create content, because then you're ensuring the fucking future survival and growth, hopefully, of the Smite Pro League. I wanted to end on the note of saying that the goal of this video was just to kind of give a general goodbye, be brutally fucking honest about what has happened, whether that's for the good or for the worse, but I've been very honest, and I'm doing this because I love the league and I want to be sustainable, so other people have the opportunity to live the same dream that I've been living for the past 5 years. And that's my script. Done. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's been such a fucking good ride, and I'm sure I'll stay involved some way or another. If you think I'm a fucking jerk for doing this now or whatever, that's how it is. I really try to not leak anything. Of course, I'm trying to speak from my own experience. There's details I haven't decided to include because those are not my own experiences. I just wanted to put it out from my perspective. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of answer from the league or whatever. Again, I'm not trying to put something bad on the league. I want the league to be great, but I also want the players to have good terms. And I think that the orgs have a responsibility. So if you're an organization owner that have negotiated with me, invest in the league, man. Just don't, like, you know, just don't be a scum, man. Like, money is great and all, and I understand some people do whatever they can for money, and I understand that it's a business at the end of the day and the numbers need to turn around, but investing in someone and something makes them want to push you as an org a lot more. And that makes you want to push the league. That makes the players want to push. It's just such a positive loop feedback circle. But that's kind of it. 39 fucking minutes. I thought this would be like 20. If you made it all the way to the end, you actually listened to every single thing I've had to say. You're awesome. I'm gonna have to cut the video here. Do a little classic EmilZy cut. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the great experiences I've had. It's been a fucking pleasure. I'm so happy with the whole community I've created, the whole community I've been a part of. I'm sure I'll be around more in the future. I'm gonna stop now because I really don't want to cry in cam. So thank you guys so much for watching. like, comment, subscribe if you want. Most importantly, just go on, yeah, take action, you know? Until next time, everyone. Peace out.